Well, hello there. And this is Auntie. And I am here to do another segment of Auntie Say It Isn't So. Auntie Say It Isn't So. Do Christians curse? Should Christians curse? Was Kirk Franklin wrong for cussing his 33-year-old son, out? Was he wrong, y'all? Let's talk about it.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up. Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lies, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Hi everybody, welcome back, and this is Auntie. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. To all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family, and to all of my nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. Before I go into my other video, I wanted to cover this one real quick. I wanted to talk about this situation because for me, it is something that we just need to talk about. I will open up the line and put the link in case you want to come live and discuss and share your thoughts about this particular incident that has happened. But before then, I am going to read an article, and we're going to listen to the tape of Kirk Franklin, one of gospel's renowned artists, singers, composers, entertainers. Cuss his son out, okay? Now I know that typically a lot of people are not accustomed to Christians cursing and stuff like that. And we believe that the word Christianity means to be Christ-like. And so, it took a lot of people by surprise because this man's reputation has been, impeccable up until this time. And so, it appears that he doesn't have the best kind of relationship with his son. So I'm going to bring up an article from the Washington Post, also an article from Tamron Hall, and we're going to discuss it. So let's see. I'm going to bring up the Washington Post one first, so we can talk about that really, really quick, and then we can move on to the next article. And let's just have an interesting chat about this, shall we? Yes, we shall. Okay. So, in this article from the Washington Post, it says an ugly family exchange was thrust into public view Saturday when Kirk Franklin's estranged son published audio of the gospel legend berating him in a profanity-laden phone call that ends with his father screaming, "I will break your neck. Don't you ever disrespect me." The elder Franklin, 51, is a beloved and influential figure in the gospel music world and is widely credited with uh, popularizing modern gospel in the mainstream. He posted an apology to his fans later that night that drew even more attention and polarized reactions to the rancorous father-son exchange. By Sunday, Kirk Franklin was a Twitter trending topic. So let me move this down, y'all. Carry On Franklin, 32, posted a clip of the exchange on Instagram on Saturday and included a caption that said he doesn't feel safe around his father. He says in quotes, "I don't think I'll ever trust my father to be alone around him ever again," he wrote. After a muffled argument, the elder Franklin is heard in the audio telling his son, "You need to get your boop out of the way before I break my foot off in your boop. I dare you," the son shouts back before cursing and telling his father to shut up. Franklin Franklin erupts with, "I will break your neck," and abruptly ends the call. "I'll break your neck? Is that a threat?" Carry on muses aloud in the video clip once his father is offline. In the direct In the direct to camera apology that Kirk Franklin shared across his official social media profiles late Saturday, he called his family relationship with his eldest son toxic. So before we look at this apology that Kirk Franklin did on Instagram, I want to first play a clip of just 1 second, y'all, of the conversation. Okay, so I'm going to put this up. I'm going to put this up and hopefully you all will be able to hear this exchange. Okay, so here we go. Let's try. I don't have my Bluetooth on. Didn't even think to do that. Okay, so here we go. Okay, if you think I'm reading this paper, let me say it like this. When your bitch ass start niggas that get your skinny motherfucking ass back out the goddamn way before I put my foot in your ass, because I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Shut the fuck up. I'm old. I did it. Okay. So that is the tape. So in the tape, we hear them arguing back and forth. Kirk is calling him all kinds of skinny MOs. The boy disrespects him and tries to, it appears that he's trying to play innocent on the phone because he is the only one who knows that this conversation is being recorded. So when you know that you're the only one on who knows that the conversation is being recorded, you can play it any kind of way you want to. You can play it as the villain and you can play it as the victim. If Kirk had knew that he was being recorded, right, wouldn't he have probably played it a little different? Now, according to Kirk Franklin, he had a counselor and all of that kind of stuff, right? It seems like there was some other people that were in the car because someone was laughing and all of that kind of stuff. But here's the thing. Why would my daughter have any reason to record a conversation with us unless there was a point that she was trying to prove? And if she was trying to prove the point, was the tape recording premeditated, or was it something that, like it just happened at the spur of the moment? Now, this individual, his son, Carry On, indicates that did not release, he didn't want to release the whole thing. Why not? If you're going to just release a call, if you're going to release the video, release all of it. Let's hear what you see. Now, some people say that it doesn't make a difference, that he shouldn't have talked to his son like that, period. But I don't know if those people's parents. Are you a parent? What generation did you grow up in? X, Y, or Z? Because I'm going to tell you right now, honey, I done got told off a whole lot of times in my life. I ain't got my ass whooping. Now, back in the day, they could whoop our tails. The neighbors could whip our tails and cuss us out and send us back home, drag us back home. It was no, it was, I don't know how many of y'all out there my age, but honey, it was a whole lot of stuff that could happen to you back in the day that can't happen to you now. Now, there are multiple things that, we can discuss here. We can go take this any kind of way we want to. But let's finish the article and then we'll make a decision about what the hell we're going to do. So let me bring that article back up to you all. Okay. Let's finish reading. All Right. So it says after a muffled argument, the elder Franklin is heard saying that, okay, in a direct apology that Kirk Franklin shared across his official social media um, profiles late Saturday, he called his family's relationship with his eldest son toxic. So let's look at that.
Many of you know I have an older son named Kerryon Franklin. In May, he'll be 33. For many years, we have had a toxic relationship with him as a family. We've tried for many years through counseling, through therapy, to try to rectify this private family matter. Recently, my son and I had an argument that he chose to record. I felt extremely disrespected in that conversation, and I lost my temper. And I said words that are not appropriate. And I am sincerely sorry to all of you. I sincerely apologize. I want you to know as a father that during that conversation, I called the family therapist and got that therapist on the phone to try to help. He never played that part of the recording. I'm not perfect. I'm human and I'm going to make mistakes and I'm trying to get it right. Please keep me and my family in your prayers.
Neither Kirk nor Kerryon Franklin could be reached for comment Sunday, and it remains unclear what prompted this argument. But the viral phone conversation is not the first time Kerryon Franklin has indicated there were deep rifts between him and his father. In 2018, he claimed in a since deleted Instagram post that his father was trying to him. In most recent posts, he said he has been estranged from his family for 14 years and repeatedly denied invitations to family dinners and holiday gatherings. On Sunday, he hinted that a full interview was forthcoming. While such private, made public disputes appear to offer a view of the personal lives of famous figures, it's the public's reaction that is actually more revealing. Psychologist Robert Reed says social media exasperates the idea that in cases like the Franklin fight, people have to side with either the parent or the child, as if the issues offer clear-cut binary choices. Reactions to the Franklin stories capture some of the slowly shifting attitudes in the United States around parental power dynamics, which is called especially complex in the Black community. Black parents sometimes think that this type of tough love is necessary to prepare kids to navigate the hostile world, Reed said. He also characterized Kirk Franklin's comments to his son as abusive. I don't want this to just be about Franklin as a bad person that doesn't do it justice, Reed said. We should talk about, yes, this is wrong. Why is it wrong? And discuss alternatives. The discussions, he said, may not solve the issues of the Franklin family, but this is not necessarily the point. They're useful for the rest of us, Reed said. Now, I don't know what in the foo-la-la that this has to do with race, right? Because mofos get cussed out in every, race, color, creed, religion, and some more stuff, okay? And so I don't know why he went there. But I do know how I was raised up. And Kirk Franklin said that what he said was inappropriate. And I had a conversation with someone, and their whole thing was, or the conversation that we had was, who says it's what's appropriate and inappropriate when you feel like you're at war? See, now this isn't Kirk Franklin talking to a 12-year-old child. And for some people, it doesn't matter whether or not the child was 12 years old or 45 years old. But he wasn't talking to a young child. So I don't know about abusive. I think that this was two men who were at war with one another, who seemed to have a history of not getting along. It seems that whatever the situation is or has been in a relationship, that Kirk has taken the road of saying, I don't want to deal with you. And oftentimes there are parents in everybody's community who at some point has had tumultuous relationships with their children and have had to cut them off. He said that, there have been multiple, they have been trying to talk about this for a long time. And that, this stuff just continues to go on and on with his son. So it seems like, he just said, you know what, your butt gonna have to hit the road. But even in him hitting the road with his son, not allowing him to come to the reindeer dances and the family dances, that he still was trying to seek some type of therapy and reconciliation with his son. And so while it's very easy to judge, because he is a Christian and Christians should not curse, I don't know whether or not I've met too many Christians who don't curse and who don't have that. See, Christianity doesn't make you immune, right? It doesn't mean that you are perfect, and it doesn't mean that you are without faults. Christianity means that you are trying to be Christ-like. And I think that over the years, Kirk Franklin has been extremely open about his life and has helped a whole lot of people. That's not to say that I'm siding with him. That's just to say I'm giving it all to you. Now, the son, was in the relationship. The son was born before Kirk Franklin had, married Tammy, his current wife. The two of them came into, the relationship as a blended family. I don't know where the mother of Carry On fits into this. I don't know her relationship uh, was with her child, right? I have no idea what that is. But I know that I have a grown child. And parenting, while a lot of us want to make an excuse about parenting doesn't come with a manual, it really is the truth. And every situation is different. And as close and thick as my daughter and I are, we have conversations and altercations and argument. Well, not altercations, but we do have arguments and disagreements and stuff like that. And kids who are raised now are totally raised differently than we were. We were taught respect no matter what. And if you did not respect, you might may have lost a tooth. Um, may have found yourself getting picked up off of the floor. There was just a different level of respect that we had for our kids. I mean, for our parents, and we did not feel entitled. And I'm not saying that entitlement necessarily means that you would get knocked out, dragged out. But I am saying that these kids, they really seem to be entitled. You're a 32-year-old man. And I don't know whether or not he was antagonizing to his father or what he was doing. Like, I really don't understand why a child would record something like that. And what would it benefit him to do that? The ultimate hurt, to put his father out there and say, my father isn't as perfect as you all think he is, to destroy his career, because that's just not the way that you reconcile yourself. And so I don't know if, over the 14 years, he has this built up anger and all that kind of stuff towards his dad. It's a very, very interesting dynamic. But I can tell you right now, there have been times when I've never called my daughter out her name. But there have been times when I have felt like, you know what, I'm getting ready to cuss her out. I'll get ready to cuss her out. And I love God and he loves me. And yes, people can stand around and they can judge the situation, or judge anybody's situation. It's very easy for us to do that. But I really do want to hear what you all have to say, not only in the comment section, but I'm going to open up the line for you all as well. We're going to look at one more article and then I will do that. So let me click here. Screen. Okay, come on. So this is right now what we're going to be looking at is the Tamron Hall. It says Kirk Franklin is speaking out. This is coming to us from usatoday.com. It says Kirk Franklin is speaking out in his first interview since a leaked argument between himself and his estranged son, Carry On Franklin, made headlines last week. In an advance clip from Wednesday's episode, Tamron Hall shared exclusively with USA Today the 16-time Grammy winning gospel music artist provided more details about his family relationship with his son, whom he physically threatened during a NSFW phone call. In the call, which Carry On 32 posted on Instagram Saturday, Franklin 51 can be heard saying, "I will break your neck. Don't ever disrespect me." The musician posted a video apology later that day, which we just saw, saying his family has had a toxic relationship. Accompanied by his wife Tammy Collins, Franklin said on Hall's talk show that many people in his inner circle have been aware of the tension and challenges that he's been going through as a family privately. According to Franklin, he and Collins started sending Carry On to therapy when he was a teenager, and his son's been in and out of counseling for over 20 years. When he became a grown man, his disrespect became more aggressive, Franklin said, adding that sometimes he and Carry On will go a year or more without talking. "I respect Carry On. I'm not Carry On's equal, though I'm his dad." And that is one of the things that sometimes when my daughter is talking to me, it seems like sometimes she'll get a slip. And I have to tell her, "I'm not your friend." Now I don't know how many of you all in this chat can say that too, but sometimes they talk to you as if you're their equal or you're their friend, or they have a right to be, expressive or say certain things. But at the end of the day, I'm still your parent. And so for us as parents, we expect a certain level of respect and a certain level of self-control. You may think that way and you may want to articulate that, but you can't articulate that kind of stuff in a heated argument, because then as a parent, you feel disrespected, especially when you have sacrificed all your life. Wait a minute, hold on. Wasn't the fool la la? See, that's what I'm saying. I hate when these little things be having all these ads. Okay, and we're back. Um, but especially when you're in a heated argument, and sometimes it's just best to kind of walk away from a situation and you can avoid it. But then there are times when, I guess what was going on between Frank and his son, that he couldn't even avoid that, right? And the son seems like, he was on chill pill, like I said, because he knew that he was recording it. He says, "I can't hear you when you're extremely aggressive when we're communicating. No matter how agitated or frustrated this relationship gets," Franklin said, he will never stop trying to help his son or picking up his phone calls, even if the conversation can kind of derail. "I never wanted him to feel like not having a father," Franklin said. "It's important to me because what if that call is a call that things change? So I never know, and I never want to give up." Franklin found success with God, with choir women. Franklin's found success with choir group Kirk Franklin and the Family, and later had a solo career. Through the years, he has collaborated with Whitney Houston, R. Kelly, and Mary J. Blige. In a lengthy Instagram caption accompanying the video of his argument, Carry On explained, "This is why I'm done. No father should speak to their child like this." I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. I think that sometimes we are human, we get our feelings hurt, and we're supposed to be just take it. The son is sitting there on the phone and saying, "I dare you, I dare you." Like at any time, he could have de escalated this, especially since he knew he was recording. But okay. "I don't think I'll ever trust my father to be alone around him ever again." Okay, well, you ain't been alone around him for 14 years, according to you. He added, "I didn't want to do this, no matter what people think. I pray my dad deals with his deep hatred towards me. I don't feel safe around him at all." Then don't go around him. And I know that's easier said than done. But if you feel like this is your point where your butt has hit the curb, don't go around him. Franklin said in his video apology um, that he tried to get a therapist, and that he said, wait a minute. Franklin said in his video apologies that the audio recording did not include audio from the family therapist, whom he said he called to try to help. Carry On said in a post Sunday that he was the only one that ever called and tried to do counseling, accusing his father of playing mind games. I'm not perfect, Franklin concluded in his apology. I'm human and I'm going to make mistakes and I'm trying to get it right. Please keep me and my family in your prayers. So don't forget, y'all, that this interview with Kirk Franklin will be on Tamron Hall show tomorrow. I've never really looked at her show, but you all please feel free to go and see that show. So I'm going to open up the lines in case you all want to come in. I'm only going to put it in here once. That's it. Right? And so if you want to come on and you want to share what you think about this situation, please feel free to do so. But I'm just like, I think that both of them were right. I think that both of them were wrong because perception is everything. And if this is how he perceives it, then both of them are right, both of them wrong. But at the end of the day, you want to see this family come back together. It's unfortunate that the son, it felt like he had to do this. Maybe he felt like this was his last resort. Like I don't know because I'm not in a situation. But I know even as a parent, I'm not perfect. And I know that sometimes I miss the mark. And I know that, I have had incidents with my daughter where she could have recorded or I could have recorded. I am a content creator. I'm not as big as Kirk Franklin, but she could very well do that. Diane, I see you're here. I think that's what I'm seeing. I'm not sure what that is. If you want to go, if you're going to come on the screen, you cannot be moving back and forth because I have subscribers who have seizures, and so the movement that is going on, I can't bring you forward. You may want to just do a black screen, if you like, but I cannot bring anybody on. Okay, Diane, so you want to do it that way? I'll bring you up. Okay. Hi, Diane. Welcome to the screen. How are you?
Hi, how you doing? I always love your commentary, and
Thank you, sweetie.
you always have good points of view. I don't do any of the like shows anymore because I don't have cable, so I
Okay.
just mainly watch your commentary. Just want to jump in here quickly. I have a son that's 26. I give him thousands of dollars. I can't even tell you. I don't want to put monetary in everything, but I love that you distinguish that this is a 30-some-year-old man versus a 13-year-old child. And I just want to tell a quick story. The day my son turned 16, I could not get his driving test. He went berserko, like I committed a crime. I'm surprised he didn't call 911. But I told him, I say, look, I couldn't. I think it was a week later he would be able to go get his driver's test and get his license. Of course, we lived in a country, which was, of course, is very important. But the bottom line is, kids. I love also that. I hope I'm not jumping around too much, but kids get this entitlement attitude, like they entitled to stuff. I've never cursed my son out. He's cursed me out plenty of times. Curse
Mm.
curse me out, and then in the next breath ask for money. And of course, give it to them. They need it. They need new tires. They need whatever they need for their vehicles. But the story when he was 16, he went crazy because the day of his 16th birthday, he couldn't go take the test. But kids, the bottom line, kids get entitled. I'm on Kirk. I love Kirk Franklin. I love his music. I play it when I'm driving all the time. Uh, I think, and I don't think that's Kirk Franklin's song, but he fell down and got back up. A sinner, something. I won't sing because I won't scare your audience away. But even people fall down and get
That's
back
Donnie
up.
McClurkin.
That's not. I don't think that's Kirk Franklin's song. I think it's another guy. I'm
It's
sorry.
Donnie McClurkin.
Thank you for that. Thank you. And the one last thing is I'm a Christian. I consider myself a Christian. I curse. Hope my boss not on the line. I lie. Boston, you to hear that. And we do things. Sometimes people think, oh, Christians. I think even you said in your commentary, people try to say Christians. If any Christians say they don't curse, if any Christians say they don't lie, if I don't think I steal though. I can't remember stealing anything.
I hope you don't steal.
I don't steal. Don't call 911 on me. But I have cursed. I have lied. And I try to be honest and kind to everybody and treat everybody kindly. But any Christian that say they never did any wrong, I mean, I need to question that. So that's all I wanted to come in and say. I'm not going to keep you long. I always love
Thank
you,
you.
and I follow you when I can. Like I said, I don't watch some of the TV shows anymore, but I still love your show.
Thank you, Diane.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna leave you and let you talk to some of your other guests.
Okay.
All right, bye bye now.
Bye bye. Hi, Jana.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Auntie.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I just wanted to say, I want to say, because I grew up Southern Baptist, and so Kirk Franklin, I've grew up watching him since a kid. So what I can say in regards to his son, I feel like his son is that boy is hurt. And I mean, nothing just comes out like that. I think that's a build up. I think for his son to record his dad like that and just put it out there like that, I think that was a situation where he's probably said something before and he's been called a liar. And I know how it is coming up Southern Baptist like that because as a kid, you're taught to shut up and take it, and then a lot of times, it causes depression. You get by yourself and you feel like you can never do nothing right. Everything that you do is considered a sin. There's no right. There's everything is wrong, wrong, wrong. And it's almost like, you going up against church members. So everybody is like, if your mom or your dad is like heavy in the church, you literally are almost like a demon child if you do something. And I think it was one of those situations to where the mirror was held in Kirk's face. And it was even though he was wrong for putting it out there like that, his dad was out there cursing like that. But at the same time, I think a mirror was put up in his face where he could see, this is how you act. This is what you say. Because I could relate to him as far as me having parents that were very strong. I'm talking about super strong, but people didn't know outside of the church what happened at home. People didn't know the cursing and the different things. You not hollering MF off in this church. You not saying you stupid blank 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 or whatever in the church because you're not gonna let the church people see you talking like that. But when you get around people, you want to counsel and all this. Nobody's saying nobody's perfect, but my thing is you have to stand in your own truths and take accountability for what your part is. And him apologizing and saying he's human, like that makes me see him as a real person at that point. Because you have to take accountability for what you do. You can't always be so I'm so on this throne and I'm putting up this front facade in front of everybody, but then people see who you are, and you wonder why people don't come to church like they supposed to come to church. You can talk about the whores and the Jezebels and everybody else out in the streets, but then they don't know what you're doing behind closed doors. But people not stupid. That's why people are always calling church people out. They always calling them out because they know it's a lot of hypocrisy that goes on. So I just think with this situation, I think that mirror was held in Kirk's face. I think Kirk just has to stand in his truth. It is what it is. Guys, for what I did. I did curse my son. I did say what I had to say. It is what it is. That was a moment. I'm human. People will be more prone to and receptive to him more than coming out almost like I feel like Christian people just have to pray for people. Like, just pray for them. That's the only thing that we can actually do, because don't none of us have a heaven or a hell to put any of those situations.
Amen.
We just have to pray for those individuals and just keep it moving. He human. Everybody, like, we've all experienced certain things with our parents before. I just think that things just built up and it just came to a head, and the son just exposed it. It is what it is. I mean, just move on. He's apologized and just move on.
Okay,
But
well, that was a very good point of view. Do you want to hang around? I got two people and I'm going to bring everybody up. You want to hang around backstage for me?
I will.
Hang around. Okay. Hi, KJ.
Hey,
Man,
Anna.
How are you, KJ? And I'm going to come to you, Tracy. I see you in the back. Okay.
I,
What
we
did
just
you think
talked.
about this, KJ?
We just talked. I'm the one that you were just talking to.
Are you on? Oh, I was talking to KJ and not Jana.
No, ma'am, you was talking to me. You told me that you was gonna put me in the back.
I did. Okay, I put the wrong person there. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, Jana.
Yes, Jana.
Jana. Hi, Jana. You want to add to the conversation?
I'm sorry. Hey, sweetheart. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Uh, Honey, it's been a good day, isn't it?
Good.
Okay, bring everybody up who you want to. I'm cool with that.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm old school, and I want to ask you a personal question. When a child disrespects you, don't you teach them how not to disrespect?
You
This
asking me?
No, in general,
Well, that's what we are supposed to do as parents. So
right.
absolutely.
But this child has reached out and has disrespected his father. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he has now come forward, the father has come forward and said, I have not done anything incorrect. I'm doing everything that I'm trying to do. But yet this child, because it's the new age of whatever this world is turning into, that this child is thinking he can disrespect his father. And he is taking over and having everybody being on his side when Tyler has not done anything incorrect. Now, this is just what I'm going to say. Back in the old days, that butt would have been spanked. But now, in this new day, these children are able to disrespect us as parents and or any authority. They are stepping forward. They are saying that they did this, and they're claiming different rights. I'm not going to name different rights, but they're claiming different rights, and they're getting away with being disrespectful to what is truly what we as the elders of our society, our grandparents, our parents now, they are getting away with it because of this new society that is saying they have authority over us. And I am ready to take a branch swip and just switch their butt, if you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Cause back in the day, honey, you used to have to go out there and get your own switch.
We had to pick our own, and if
You had to switch. Did your dad go right?
the white green one,
And it couldn't be one of the brown ones that was gonna break. It had to have some life to it. Some life, liberty, in the pursuit of whooping that ass. Okay, you better not come back with a switch that wasn't a viable.
It wasn't green enough where it would switch us.
Yes.
Yeah, And if we came out with a broken little branch little thing, oh, that was. But it had to be a green switch. That's
Absolutely.
what needs to be brought back. Forgive me, but that needs to be brought back for this because all these children now have been brought up as disrespect.
Absolutely.
It
But
is time for, I don't know how us elders, I don't want to say we are elders, but of us that are of age that can say, enough is enough. I
enough is
don't care if
enough.
you cry. I don't care if you complain. I don't care if you don't get your way. Dadgummit, go get a switch and I'm going to switch you. But it won't work that way because we, as the adult, we now get put in jail because we're trying to discipline them.
And then too, you have to remember that this guy's 32. He's about to be 33 years old. So his switching days are over.
But no, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, I would switch him in a heartbeat. I'm not kidding you. I would switch that little butt in a heartbeat. And I would stand up to him and tell him, how dare you disrespect? How dare you think that you have the authority to throw this out here right now? Who are you? You're 32 years old. Where were you at 5, 4? You know, why are you bringing this up at this point in time? All he wants to do is get acknowledgement. All he wants to do is disrespect this amazing man. He is nothing but a spoiled little brat that has nothing to do with what life really is going forward. He has no idea how to choose life. He has no idea how to go forward. All he wants to do is stick in the media and say, oh, this has happened. Oh, this has happened. And he's doing the same thing that the Me Too, and I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say these things.
Yeah. Because we talk about that right now. But let me bring up one of the other people. You want to stay backstage?
Yes, may I?
Okay.
Because I got something funny to tell you.
Okay. So let me bring her up. All right.
Yeah, I love you.
Hi there, Tracy.
Hey, Auntie.
How you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. What you need to
Oh,
say, girl? Give it
okay.
to us. Give it
So
to us.
I'm gonna give you a bit of backstory. My father was born in 1933. My mom was born in 1940. I am 36 years old. My mama cussed me out the other day. I wouldn't dare put it online. I wouldn't dare. If I thought about it, I think I might be going to write my own eulogy right after it, because I would have died. Like that's just not okay. I have a 16-year-old son, and I asked my son, would you ever? He was like, I would never say that out loud. He was like, I might have thought it in my head. He was like, but there is no way that you're going to get me to say, I wish you would. He was like, because you would come do what I was asking you to do. So, no, I wouldn't do that. So, it definitely is one of those things where you can see the hurt in his son to feel as though you would take a snippet of a conversation that he is also antagonizing to get Kirk to a very place where he is full throttle upset and take that piece of the conversation and put just that piece online. Because I've never had an argument or a conversation or something that just started off from the jump as an escalated argument where people are cursing and swearing and going back and forth. Like, that's normally not how arguments start. So I need the backstory of what you said, what happened to get
Hmm.
the conversation to this place. because
Mm-hmm.
it seems very manipulative that you know that your father has built his career on gospel music and this being a pillar for some people to look at as a church going man and you know as a representative for the church. So knowing that this is how your father has made his career, you are now going and saying, oh, well, this is how he really is behind closed doors. And all that does is add to that stigma of, oh, church people, they do one thing and they say another. Why should I go to church? Why should I do this? Look how they are behind closed doors. Kirk Franklin has never, stood up as the perfect poster child for Christianity or Southern Baptist people. He has openly said, I have my faults, I have my problems, these are the things. But he also isn't someone who says, I'm going to counsel you as a representative of God. And now people are saying, oh, well, the church is, look what Kirk did. So now it's the church. And it's like you're feeding that narrative of why people shouldn't be going to church, or, oh, it's a church man, but look at how far he's fallen. Because I'm seeing that a lot online. And I'm like, how do you put, because this man for his job makes wonderful songs for someone to sing at church, how did you then take that and say, oh, well, he's a terrible church person and these are how people in the church really are? No, he is a man first. Like before he is anything else, he is a man. And as I am a woman, my child isn't going to disrespect me or antagonize me to say, oh, I wish you would, or oh, come on. Not never. Not never. Because when you were a baby, I took care of you. When no one else was there for you, I made sure you was okay. You wouldn't be in this place in your life had I not done what I was supposed to do when you were growing up. So I took care of you in a time where you had no one else. So we're not going to do that. But I think it is this this morphid this just morphing of entitlement as a 30 some odd year old individual feeling that his father shouldn't talk to him in a certain way. If you don't like the way he talking to you, cut him off.
Cut
It's
them
real
off.
simple. You're grown. You're overly grown. Like you are in your 30s. If you don't like the way your parent is talking to you, cut him off. It's
Cut
real
them off.
simple. You just stop talking. Cut him off. Oh, I don't like the way you treat me. I'm not going to deal with you anymore because that's what you would normally do if someone is doing something that you do not like. You cut them off and continue on with your life.
Absolutely. I have one more person in the background. You want to hang in? I want to bring you all in so we can
Sure.
have a. So, okay. So hang on in the background, okay? Be right back with you. Hi, Micah.
Hey, can you hear me?
Absolutely. How are you?
Hi. I'm actually new to this channel. I've never been here. It was just on my feed, and I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." But I just wanted to say that it's so interesting hearing each other's opinions. I'm actually 17, so of course, compared to everybody else, I have a little bit of a younger opinion on this matter. But
Okay.
to me, I found that,
How you 17 on my channel? My channel is 18 and over.
is it? I don't know
Yes,
what
it
happened.
is. So you done lied about the age to YouTube.
I mean, I don't know what you, maybe? I might have. I mean, most of my
Well, let's
peers
get
are
your
on YouTube.
opinion. If you're being sincere, Micah, and you really want to give your opinion from a child's perspective, but you know that this individual is a 32.
Yes, I do find that, yeah. What I was really just gonna say is that,
Okay.
I respect the opinions of my elders and my parents, especially.
Okay.
You guys sacrificed so much to get us into this world, and you know, I don't know the stance of Kirk Franklin and what he's done, but it takes a burden on any parent to bear a child, especially in the world right now. And I find that him recording it was a little bit, it was a little bit out of line, um, especially at the age he is at 33. Um, you got your own family, just move out of your not move out of your dad's house, but you know, you don't have to take that. But I do understand that, you know, with these old school ideals that we have the tendency to we have the tendency to, you know, shut up the child and like we know what's best for you, therefore you have no opinion in the say. And while that's sometimes a good thing, that's also to me it is very damaging. You're
Have
not
you ever
respect
heard, so Micah, have you ever felt like you were not being heard?
you know, my parents have been so good into understanding, my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And just like every other parent, and every other human, we slip up sometimes. We slip up so much to where, you know, you're not going to always respect my opinion and you're not always going to hear my opinion. Um, but my parents have. They've tried to. But I do know that in the South where I'm from, we do have that tendency to shut up people and, you know, if they're not, we put our opinions onto our children, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that is a smart thing per se. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say, and thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate you being here. You
Thank
seem like
you.
you're wise beyond your years.
I'm going to college soon, so I will learn more about this crazy world.
Good. So I'm gonna bring up the old school panelists. Did you want to hang in there?
Sure, I would love to hear.
Okay, hold on. Okay, somebody has to mute them. If you're not talking, mute yourself.
I'm not talking yet.
But is that you with that note? Let me see. Yeah, you have something that's going on in the back, Miss Jana. That's interference. It's whistling and everything.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, I don't know if it's water, a fan, an air conditioner. I don't know what it is.
How's that?
It's the same.
It's still the same?
Yeah. So if you could just mute yourself, and
Yes,
then when you
ma'am.
when
Yes,
you want
ma'am.
to talk, you can come on out.
Okay.
Okay. So I wanted to bring everybody back on the panel so that we can I got you. I wanted to bring everybody back on the panel so that we can have a discussion about it. So, is it wrong for a parent to threaten their child? Now, when I say that, I'm saying that in a way of um because back in the day my parents used to say, I brought you in this world, I take you out. There were all kinds of things that, like old school, that our parents used to do and used to say, right? They were more creative about the way that they said those kind of things. So when Kirk Franklin said that he was going to do this, that, and the other, is that the same as when our parents used to say, if you get pregnant, I'm putting you out. If you, I will kick a mud hole in you. If you, let me know what you all think. Is there a big difference between how we rear, as Michael was saying, and how parents rear now? Because our parents was threatening us and whooping our asses.
Am I still sounding like an ocean?
Yes. So you all want to come on and tell me how you feel about that? You all can unmute and talk anytime you want.
Okay.
Katie
Do I,
May, Tracy Chappelle.
I would
Auntie?
definitely say that between me and my niece, who are very close in age, yeah, it's crazy. But my niece is literally 9 months younger than me.
Okay.
But whatever. Um, between me and her, we both parent our children very differently. She took the approach of, oh, I'm not going to put my hands on my child. I'm not going to yell at my child. I'm not going to curse at my child. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Well, she also has, now that her child is a teenager, she has a whole different slew of issues with her child and the way that he talks to her, because he talks to her like they're friends. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's just not going to work for me. And although I am not even a year older than her, he will not talk to me like that because I've made it very clear. If I whoop my child, I'll definitely whoop you. So you're not going to talk to me in that manner. So although he will talk to his mother like that, he won't talk to me like that. So it is, I could definitely say that the way people raise their children now, children do feel as though they are mm,
The
on
children
equal
have
footing to say what they want to say to you in the tone that they feel is okay, and they can treat you like they would treat their friends, which to me is just not okay. But again, I'm also in my mid 30s, and my mama cursed me out yesterday. Like yesterday, she literally did. And I was just like, okay, mom, well, you know what? I'm gonna call you back and let you cool off because you real big mad.
Okay, so
And
what do
that's
you
how we
think,
got off the phone.
KJ?
Hey, can you hear me now?
I,
Hey, this is
I,
Jana. Can you hear me now?
Jana, we can hear you. You want to go ahead and talk before KJ? Go ahead,
Oh
sweetie.
no, I saw KJ had the mic on a mute. So if you want to let KJ go ahead and say things, that's fine.
You go ahead, Jana.
I,
Hold on one second, KJ. Go ahead, Jana.
I just wanted to say something to Tracy.
Sure.
Tracy, I am loving your beliefs and I love how you have been raised up. That is the exact same way I was raised up. And that is something that we have missed now. I don't I don't care where we are now in 2021. We need to get back to the full belief of, I don't care if you say, forgive me, Auntie, you need to pop their butt and you need to switch their legs. I am so tired of these children and these people that are now 30 years old think that they can disrespect everybody. It is time for everybody to say, enough is enough. I don't care. I grew up with switching. I grew up with the spanking. And that is not something that is taken away from my being of a person, what they are saying now. Discipline is discipline. Now,
No, that's not
abuse,
true.
abuse is
Don't
abuse.
don't say that word on the channel.
Oh, I'm sorry, allegedly.
No, I'm talking about the A word. And
Oh,
discipline is not discipline. It is not the same. So you have corporal punishment, and then you have people who go outside of that.
right.
So
And
it's
I'm
not
saying,
equal. It's not equal, and you can't say that. In my opinion, you
okay,
can't say
I
that it's the same.
apologize. I apologize.
It's okay. You
But
don't have to apologize. I'm just saying, I just wanted to make sure that we're clear that discipline isn't always discipline. Some discipline goes a
yes,
way past.
some discipline goes to the A word. And I do not agree with that.
Because I mean, in all totality, even though we laugh, I mean, even though we laugh about it now, we shouldn't have been getting our own switches. That's what was taught by by the slave masters. We were getting whipped by slave masters. Why should we incorporate that into? We didn't know any better, and when we know better, we do better.
Yeah,
So I do believe, while I do believe in spit, you spit a rod, you spoil a child. I also believe that there are limits to that.
exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to get to. Um, when I was growing up, as and you laughed at it earlier, we had to go get our own little switch.
Yeah, that's what I said. Although we laugh at that, it
But
wasn't. Our parents shouldn't have been doing that stuff to us.
right, right. And we didn't know the better. We didn't know which kind of wheat or branch was right, and it would bring blood to our legs, which I had that many times when she would switch me and it would bring blood to my legs. But we don't go to this extreme to where we are today, where the children are taking over the parents. There has to be an equal balance of discipline. And I'm not saying discipline, it has to be where you could talk to each other. It has to be where you can say, this is where you're doing things incorrect. And they are able to say, well, then why? Why am I doing things? It has to be a communication, is where I'm getting to. Now, there does have to be a type of discipline, like where the children overtake the parents, and there is a lot of that.
But I think that we're getting away from the subject.
Do
Um,
you think
and
that?
because he is not a little kid, he's a grown ass man. He is 32 years old, disrespecting his father. He is no longer, in my opinion, at the age of discipline. I think that when your children get to be a certain age, you can no longer discipline them. You should be directing and guiding them. KJ, tell me what you think about all of this.
I just feel like and you're right. He's 32 years old. So, like I was telling you before, I just think that's just build up. I think it was a situation in between him and Kirk that Kirk has called him a liar. Kirk has made him look a certain type of way in front of certain people, and I just by me, like I said before, by me being of Southern Baptist and by me growing up, like both of my parents are super religious, so I can relate. I can relate to how something like that may happen because I've seen it several times. I've seen situations where they act one way in front of church people, and then they're a whole nother way outside of church people, and it's almost like two different lives. But you go in church and you hooping and hollering and dancing and flipping over benches, and you know how Southern churches are very animated. So you doing all of that, but they don't know you smoking cigarettes and cussing and having a cold one and all this other type of stuff because you don't let the church people see that. But then in church it's a whole
Hmm.
nother way. But then as a kid, if you even utter any kind of disrespect and the church people get wind of it, oh, you just a bad child, oh, you just this, oh, you just that. But then if the kid tries to defend themselves even the slightest, it's looked at disrespect. Oh, you can't do that. And it's just like
May
my
I
thing
ask a
is
question?
there there can't be there can't be a lot of hypocrisy because I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy a lot of times with just church people. You say one thing and then you do another thing. Somebody seeing you
Hmm.
doing this, it's almost like you want to
It's
Okay,
like
call
a,
somebody
this
out.
guy is
it's like
30
a
years
do as I say do, but not as I do.
Yes, ma'am.
old. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. This guy is 30 years old, and all of a sudden he is coming forward. Why didn't he come forward
Yes,
when he was 7, 8, 9 years old?
he
This
has.
is ridiculous.
He has.
I'm sorry,
Right.
what?
He has come forward.
Not when he was 7 or 8 years old. He's 30 years old. He's a man. This is not something that a child, quote unquote, should be doing. If he was 7 or 8 years old, I would respect him, and I would, everybody in the country or the city or the state would go and protect this child. This is a 30-year-old man that's all of a sudden coming out. He's a man, and he is saying this. Why is he, after 30 years, coming after him? This I don't understand. Will y'all please
But I think that you're mistaking. He has come out for it before. This is not his first time at the rodeo. This is just the first time. This is just the first time that we've heard Kirk cursing. This is not his first time coming forward.
Okay, thank you. That's what I'm saying. Please explain to me, because here's a 30-year-old man, and it's a man. It's not a child. A man that is coming forward against his father, quote unquote. And I'm trying to be saying things right on your channel. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
So this 30-year-old man is coming against his father. And all of a sudden, nobody can find anything that has really been abusive. Nobody can find anything that has happened. But this person, 30-year-old man, is saying this happened in my childhood. Has anybody actually looked into this childhood?
And I completely understand where you're coming from, Miss Jana, as far as him being a man, a 32-year-old man, but he's still somebody's child. That's Kirk's kid. So
True.
whether he's 40, he's still that man's kid. So it's just one of those situations. Sometimes everything does not get shown. We don't know the whole story. All we heard was a snippet of the conversation. All we heard was, he actually he actually posted a video after his dad had apologized of his response as in regards to his dad's apology. So we only know that. We don't know the whole thing. And by me, I guess I can speak as far as what I've seen in my life as far as coming up Southern Baptist. Church people have a good way of hiding things. They will hide
Hmm.
stuff so quickly,
Let me tell
and it's
you
a
how.
lot of things that folks start singing. When I told you the chandeliers will fall on the church floor, it like if people really start singing in the church and really start telling what's really be going down in the churches like that, the chandeliers will be falling. But see, it's
Let me
just one
tell
of those
you something,
situations.
honey. Let me tell you
You
something.
have
I grew up Pentecostal, and I got out of that quickly. But I grew up Pentecostal, so I know what you're talking about. How you jump and you drink. I know exactly what you're talking about. So I don't want to talk about religion. I don't want. I want to know the truth.
This is what this is about, though.
That's what I'm saying. This is not about if you're a Baptist, if you're a Pentecostal, if you're whatever. I want to know why when he became 30 years old and all of a sudden he is saying all this, and Kurt is trying to say, I didn't do all this, and
No,
he
he
is trying
didn't.
to
He didn't say
apologize.
that. I think you're not following the story. Kirk never said he didn't do it. He's on videotape.
He said, I did not do what he said I did, but I apologize that I wasn't there
No,
for him when
no,
he asked
beloved.
me.
No, beloved. No, he did not say that. He never said that, beloved.
Okay, then
He said
please,
he knows, he acknowledges it. Some people believe the only reason why he did acknowledge it is because he got caught. So I don't know if you don't, if maybe you came in the video late or but that's not the truth. And so we got to make sure that we're accurate in what we're saying here.
Okay, then please help me because Kurt has always said, I will do whatever I can do to help him, but so please help me understand this.
Well, we don't have the time because the hour is getting late, but please make sure you review the look, look back at it and everything, and we can continue this conversation another day because the hour is getting late. But he never said that. And I just want to make sure that whatever's on my channel, that when possible, I can clear it up. Okay.
Okay, well, I apologize. I didn't
Okay,
mean it.
it's okay. It's totally okay. Sometimes you come in later on and you don't get the gist of it. I saw a lot of people in the comments section indicating that the son is hurt, and I've heard you, KJ, say that the son is hurt, and I've
Right,
heard
right.
Tracy talk about those things, and I've heard Micah. But you know what? Let me just say this: parents get hurt too. Parents have things that happen to them, disappointments from their children, lies, cover ups, going above and beyond, and just being totally taken advantage of. And so I want to make sure that I say that before I end this live, that while children get hurt, so do parents.
Do you think they can heal from this?
I don't know. We don't know enough about the relationship and the situation, so I really don't know about that.
Well, I pray
Well,
Absolutely.
that they
between
can.
the two of them.
I just think it's the best thing like I said before. I just think the best that we do is pray for them in regards to that because I feel like both like you said, Auntie, both of them are hurt. Like he's hurt, Kirk's hurt, his son is hurt. I just think they just need prayer in a time like this. Both of them are gonna have to seek individual counseling. So whatever that issues that he has with his dad, they're gonna have to work that out. They're gonna work on themselves individually first, and then they can come together and hopefully, you know, work that situation out in between both of them because there's a lot of for Kirk to use the language that he used
He
for
was
I think
hurt.
his son is right. Even for Kirk to use that language and his son to antagonize his dad like that, it's almost like those were two men, two bucks bucking heads. So it was like nobody wanted to give. And so it's like somebody's gonna have to give in a situation. I mean, it's just one of those situations, and the son just put it out on blast, like, here's our family's business. And I think that was one of the situations where Kurt got embarrassed. I think he was more so embarrassed as well. I represent this genre of church, and I'm always singing this inspirational music and encouraging people, and then my son is putting me out there using derogatory language and vulgar language, like that. So it was more so of an embarrassment as well because I didn't want people. I mean, who wants their family to be seen like this? Nobody wants that. So I just think they both just need prayer and they need to both seek counseling. And I think it'll all come together because things happen. We're human and things just happen. All of us have stories that we can possibly tell as far as our childhood and what our parents could have done to us. But it is what it is with this.
It is. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Mike and Tracy, did you all have any final words?
Auntie, I don't think necessarily that the son put it out for
I
the
had
reason of
some
showing
final
the
words.
world what happened. I think he put it out to hurt his father because if it was to show you exactly what was going on, you would have put the conversation out in its entirety. But to
Somebody
just
has
take
something
the
playing
part
in the
of him,
background.
yeah, but to just take the part of the conversation with Kirk, like in mid argument, mid fight, to me, that is more manipulative of the situation because you're just showing the explosion of the situation. You're not giving us what was said leading up to it. So I don't think the son put it out for, oh, look, this is what my dad does to me. It was, oh, my dad represents, this kind of Christian lifestyle. Look at what a hypocrite he is. Hurt his career because I want to hurt my dad because I'm hurt. So I just think the
I agree
son
with you.
did it very differently. The reason why he put it out to me seems to be very different. Although the son absolutely is hurt and there's some deeper things going on with him, I just don't think he put it out for the reason of, oh, see what a bad guy my dad is. Because then you would give us the whole story.
I
Right.
agree with you, Tracy, 100%. I agree with you. This has been something that has been planned. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, Tracy.
Well, I want to thank all four of you. Micah's in the background, but we're getting ready to end Micah. So, Micah, please always feel welcome to come back again. I thank you so much for your candor and for your openness. And I just want everybody in the comments section to feel free to leave a comment after this video has uploaded. Let us know what you think and if this is something you all want to do a part two to, because I absolutely have enjoyed this. Thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate it. So the KJ, he removed himself. So let me put you on the back. Thank you, Tracy. So thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it. Someone that asked in the comments was Kirk Franklin's wife laughing in the back. Unfortunately, she was not. It was someone who was in the car with the son, allegedly. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to all of my moderators who have kept the room safe. I appreciate you all so much for doing that. I know I promised you all a Tammy video, but because of the lateness of the hour, I promise I'll give it to you tomorrow. Love you all to pieces. Have a great night, y'all. Let's keep that family in prayer. All right. Bye, y'all.